Terry, I think you had some people wondering a couple weeks ago when you tweeted that you had some things to think about. Was that about whether you were going to play or not? Was it about something else? And then just how did you kind of make the decision to go ahead and play this year?
Yeah, it was, it was coming to that point of just thinking what was best for, me and the newborn on the way, and my girlfriend, just to, what was the safest thing to do. But, everybody on this team, we work hard every day. We worked hard, throughout this whole summer. And, I just wanted to be around them. And I wanted to, come back and finish strong with my guys. So it definitely got to a point in time, it's scary. You don't know what to expect. But I feel like we got past that. And now, we're here.
Josh, more.
Harry, just how nice is it to be out there and actually get to throw the football and the guys that are out there trying to catch it, after a year away?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt normal, even with all the restrictions that, we're going through right now. It just felt really good to be back out there with everybody and just to start back up and get the rust off of us and just keep getting better. But everybody was, was excited to be out there and just play ball and do what we love to do. It's been a long summer. It's been a lot of uncertainty. So I feel like just being able to go out there and practice, it was like a relief.
Okay.
Yeah, Terry, a lot of players around the country have talked about how they feel safer to be on campus with their football teams as opposed to back home, like some of the players in the Big Ten and the Pac-12. Do you get that kind of feeling when you're out there that you are in a safer environment with your players?
Always, yeah, no doubt about that. They're doing a great job, at the facility, making sure that we're being safe. Everybody's wearing their mask and has their mask on. So I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I feel like what we have going on here is safe, and we're gonna do our best job that we can to be able to continue playing and have a season. So the leaders on the team are making sure we're just staying on the younger guys and making sure that hey, we want a season, and this is what we're gonna have to do to be able to have a season.
Kent. I think you're on mute. There you go.
Thanks, Bob. Terry, what did it feel like just to be out there physically today? Did you feel 100% moving around, and do you have any mental blocks? Have you already kind of started getting past all those?
Oh yeah, I feel great out there, 100%. No mental blocks, no none of that. Just out there slinging the ball and having fun and doing what I love to do. I don't even think about the need or anything. I feel fine. So, like I said, I'm just happy to be back out there with my brothers and just getting back to it.
Nick.
Harry, how odd is it to practice during a pandemic versus a regular, normal preseason practice?
It's different. Just because you're seeing everybody, like the way we're going into the facility is, is different than what we would usually do, and the amount of time that we have in the locker room is, is limited. But on the field, like I said, it feels normal. On the field, everybody's still running around, we're flying around, and doing what we're supposed to be doing out there and just having fun. So I would say on the field, it really isn't different than anything, but definitely inside the facility, you do have those restrictions and things that you have to follow by.
Josh, more.
Terry, how disappointed were you that Eastern Michigan got took off the schedule?
Not really worried about it. I feel like we have an even better schedule now. So I'm just worried about, the first game and what we can do to get better, to go down there and compete, and just to play ball. I'm not really worried about didn't get to play Eastern Michigan. It would have been really cool to open up against those guys again, but this schedule that we have is awesome. You can't beat it.
Just a quick follow-up on that schedule. When you're preparing for going through the week, it's fewer games, but you're probably going to be a tougher load. Just how do you guys? What do you do? Anything different to physically prepare week to week? You think for something like that?
I feel like we just have to, do what we do, day in and day out. Come to practice ready to get better, and make sure we're watching film and just studying as much as we can because it's going to be here really fast, and we just have to make sure we're ready to go. So I don't think anything changes. Just that mentality that we have to have, and knowing that we have to go down there and compete. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to have to go down there and compete.
John Clay.
Terry, I got to ask you about the hair. Why did you decide to get it cut, and how's it feel?
It was good. I feel like it was just time. I've had my dreads for 10 years now, so I just felt like it was time just to shake it up and get a new look. I feel like a different person.
Jeff Drummond.
Terry, I was kind of wondering, having most of the year off and rehabbing, have you had to kind of reestablish some chemistry with the wide receivers and get with any of those guys and do extra throwing and stuff like that?
All summer long, literally all summer long. Even though we weren't able to throw for a while, like on the facility, so we would have to go find a field outside the facility and get some work in there. So we were just gathering a couple guys up and making sure we were self-distancing and just, going through the routes on there and just making sure that we could, there wasn't going to be an excuse on why we couldn't get better. So, but once we started being able to, throw on the facility, throw on the practice field, it was just, it was easy, just back how we usually do things. And, it was just target practice.
Did you have a couple of guys you usually went out with, or?
Oh yeah, Ali, Alan Daly, Cleveland Thomas, Bryce Oliver. Those are just some of the guys. We've had a lot of guys out there. We even had DBs out there, doing one-on-ones and stuff like that. So we had a handful of guys.
Got just a couple more for Terry, and we'll wrap up with him. John Hale.
Terry, you mentioned your off the field concerns. Just how has that process been during the pandemic with the baby and doctor's appointments? Has that been extra stressful? How have you dealt with all that?
I mean, it hasn't been too stressful, but just the thought of knowing, it's a pandemic going on, and there's really nothing you can control, but it's just making sure you're being as safe as possible, with the social distancing and having the mask and just making sure that you're doing everything right. It's just tough because you can't control it. You don't know who has it or who you're around that has it. So just really just trying to avoid those big public places and just trying to stay safe.
Thanks.
Lee K.
Yeah, Terry, of course, last year when you went down, there was some scrambling. They had to find a wide receiver to play quarterback. I just wonder, obviously, that you don't want that to happen again this year, but what's that depth like in that quarterback room with Sawyer and Bo and even Joey? And what's that chemistry like with you guys?
Yeah, we're stacked. I feel like that's how it's supposed to be in the quarterback room. All those guys are learning. Me and Sawyer do a pretty good job on, teaching the younger guys and just showing them the ropes some. But, that the whole quarterback room is loaded. I feel like, every quarterback is going to be, a solid quarterback on the field, whenever that comes. So we're just competing every day, competing and getting better.
All right, we'll wrap it up with Aaron Gershon.
Terry, with an abnormal offseason in spring and summer, how beneficial is it for you guys to have so much continuity in comparison to some of the other teams in the SEC that are a lot younger?
Yeah. I mean, we're blessed. We're really blessed to be able to continue doing this, just to be able to come practice and just do what we love, and I think that's what's driving us the most is that knowing that we're really the only guys that get to come out and practice and continue doing football things. I feel like it just drives us, even more just to take those safety precautions and, and just follow everything that we need to follow. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. I feel like everybody wants to be playing football right now, but, we're just fortunate enough to be out there and taking advantage of it.
All right. But Terry, we'll get Landon in here in just a minute, guys.